My name is Emily. And this is the story of my first night with the man I love. It was not just any night. It was the night of my marriage. The night when I stepped into a new life. The night when I became a wife. The day had been long. Full of laughter. Full of blessings. Full of music. But as the sun went down, my heart started beating faster. Because I knew my real journey was about to begin. The room was quiet. Decorated with flowers. Soft lights. And a fragrance of roses. I sat on the bed. My hands trembling. My heart restless. And my eyes filled with tears. Not of sadness. But of joy. And fear. Then the door opened slowly. And Daniel walked in. My husband. My love. My forever. He looked at me. And in that moment, the whole world disappeared. His eyes. Gentle and warm. His smile. Nervous but pure. And his steps. Slow. As if he didn't want to break the silence of the night. Emily, he whispered. I can't believe you're really mine. His words touched the deepest part of my heart. And I smiled softly. With tears in my eyes. That was the moment. I knew. This night would stay with me forever. At first. We didn't rush. We just sat together. Side by side. Daniel held my hand. His touch was warm. And it made me feel safe. We spoke. Slowly. About small things. About how tired we were from the wedding. About how beautiful everything looked. About how strange. And wonderful. It felt to finally call each other husband and wife. The silence between our words was not heavy. It was sweet. Comforting. Full of meaning. Every time our eyes met, it felt like a promise. A promise of love. A promise of forever. Daniel whispered. Emily. I don't know what the future holds. But I promise. I will always be by your side. I looked at him. And in that moment, I believed every word. Because love. Real love. Does not need big speeches. It just needs honesty. And care. After some time, Daniel gently lifted my veil. His hands were shaking. And so was my heart. When our eyes met. Without the veil between us. It felt like the first sunrise. Bright. Beautiful. Full of hope. He touched my face softly. As if I was the most delicate flower in the world. And I closed my eyes. Feeling the warmth of his love. We didn't need words anymore. Our hearts were speaking louder. His touch said. You are mine. My silence said. Forever yours. That night. Was not just about romance. It was about trust. About opening our hearts. About becoming one. Daniel held me close. And I felt the world disappear. There was no fear. No doubt. Only love. Pure and endless. The night outside was silent. But inside our room, our hearts were louder than any sound. Daniel still held my hand. As if letting go would break something precious. He looked at me. And whispered. Emily. This night. Is the first page of our story. His words. Touched me deeply. Because I knew. This story would be written not on paper. But on hearts. We talked more. Not about the wedding. Not about the guests. But about dreams. Hopes. And the little things that made us happy. Daniel told me that he wanted a home full of laughter. A place where love never faded. Where we could grow old together. And I told him that I wanted nothing more than his hand in mine. Through every storm. Through every season. The more we spoke, the closer we became. Not just as husband and wife, but as two souls. Finding comfort in each other. Slowly, Daniel pulled me closer. His arms wrapped around me. And for the first time, I rested my head on his chest. I could hear his heartbeat. Strong. Steady. Full of love. That sound became the safest place in the world. I closed my eyes. And for a moment, I forgot everything. The long day. The noise. The fear. All that remained was us. Daniel kissed my forehead. Softly. Gently. And whispered. You are my blessing. My everything. Tears filled my eyes again. Not of sadness. But of gratitude. Because in that embrace, I realized I had found a love that would never fade. Hours passed. But it felt like minutes. We laughed. We cried. We dreamed. Daniel and I made promises. Not of gold. Not of riches. But of love. Respect. And trust. He promised to stand by me. Even when life became hard. I promised to walk with him. Even when the road was rough. Together. We promised that no matter what came our way, we would face it. Hand in hand. That night. Our first night. Was not just about romance. It was about building the foundation of forever. A love story that would grow with every sunrise. And shine brighter with every sunset. Daniel whispered as sleep slowly came to us. Emily. I don't just love you tonight. I will love you. Every night. For the rest of my life. And with my heart full. And my soul complete. I closed my eyes. Knowing. This was the beginning of a beautiful forever. The room was glowing. Not from bright lights. But from soft candles. Their gentle flames dancing on the walls. Daniel and I sat close. The world outside did not matter. Because in that little room, we had everything. He looked at me. His eyes shining. And whispered. Emily. This night feels like magic. I smiled. Because he was right. It was magic. A magic made of love. Trust. And two hearts beating as one. We talked about childhood. The silly things we did. The dreams we once had. And how strange. Yet beautiful. It felt. To finally be here. Together. Every laugh. Every tear. Brought us closer. Until I felt. That he was not just my husband. He was a part of my soul. But then. A thought touched my heart. A little fear. What if love fades? What if life changes us? Daniel noticed the sadness in my eyes. He held my face gently. And said. Emily. Love is not about never changing. Love is about growing. Together. Through every change. His words. Filled me with peace. Because I realized. True love does not fear tomorrow. True love holds hands. And walks into tomorrow. Without fear. He kissed my hand. And whispered. I will love you. Even when your hair turns gray. Even when your hands shake. Even when the world forgets us. I will still remember. This night. And with those words. My heart knew. This was forever. The hours passed. But we did not notice. Because love does not count hours. It counts moments. Daniel held me close. As if the world could end. And he would still keep me safe. I closed my eyes. Listening to the steady rhythm of his heart. And in that sound, I found home. That night, our first night, was not just romance. It was a promise. A prayer. A forever. And even now, years later, whenever I look at Daniel, I remember that first night. When two strangers became one. When love became eternal. Daniel was right. Love is not just for one night. Love is for every night. For every tomorrow. For every forever. And that was our first night romance.